Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be, and welcome to my post on the medical industry. It's called Not of This World. Everybody is afraid of something, and I am afraid of the medical industry. When I fell out of a tree as a child, I was sent through the gears of that otherworldly system. And someday weakness will send me back into its cruel embrace. When stress and work break your body, you turn to your family for help, and they say, go visit a doctor. The doctor sends you to other doctors, each with his own special cure to sell, cutting or poisoning you with the promise that you can return to the job or life that broke you in the first place. At its worst, this is not a system that heals. This is a psychopath that culls the broken pieces gumming up the works. It is designed to help you die without inconveniencing the other cogs. And in the long run, there is no way out. Try as you might, you may temporarily escape along a lonely, dangerous path with nothing to guide you but hope springing eternal. You may find your beating heart along that road, but the warmth of life returns slowly after the system has killed you. Once it is done with you, the system likes it when you are cold and dead. Being afraid of a medical industry is not the same thing as being afraid of death. If you've ever gone through a tunnel of deep depression, you know the paradoxical way it burns down your fear of death. Once you've truly wanted to die, subsequent threats to your life seem laughable. For me, that tunnel-like experience was a liberating gift. It made me fearless about many things, but not about everything. I view the medical industry as a psychopath that thrives on fear. It does not directly threaten my life, but it threatens my agency, turning me into an object to be operated on, or into a mind to be medicated into a manageable, zombie-like state. If fear is at the heart of evil, then what are psychopaths afraid of? It is said that they fear nothing, and that is why they are capable of evil acts. But what if there is a secret fear driving them that is far greater than anything the rest of us must face? Imagine the evil person haunted by the ghost of the person they might have been. It is said that psychopaths have no conscience, but what if that is not true? What if they have a conscience that is so powerful and terrifying that they try to symbolically kill it within the physical world? Try as they might, they can't kill a ghost. This makes me wonder what haunts the medical industry today. What might it have been had it not been traumatized at some critical point in its development? Something must have scared it very badly at some point long ago. Was it World War II? Was it the power over life and death? Was it the death of a dream or of a beloved pet? We all experience an adrenaline rush when something bad or good happens to us. Perhaps those who are affected by evil impulses just have a harder time identifying the adrenaline as good or bad because they get their pleasure or dopamine in an unusual way or not at all. The worst thing that happened to them got attached to an adrenaline surge, and they are trying to reconnect to the event that defines them. Stretching even further, they are trying to connect to a reality that defines them, and are trapped in a world in which they are not destined to exist. They were meant to be benevolent spirits. I think it might be cathartic if an evil person instead saw himself as a benevolent spirit trapped in a world not meant for him. Perhaps the crazy woman in that movie Fatal Attraction was living in a world not meant for her. In another world, the man had chosen her. Perhaps such a belief might free a person from the shame they feel when they are rejected, and thereby prevent them from murdering defenseless pet rabbits. Ghosts of this sort might sometimes be necessary illusions for the maintenance of sanity. In the case of Fatal Attraction, the woman creates a ghostly delusion in order to feel attractive, but that ghost was too powerful and it consumed her. Perhaps the medical industry feels haunted by shame and desperately wants to be attractive. It is secretly lonely and secretly wants to merge with some other forbidden industry. But which one? It's not Big Pharma, they already have that. Do they want to merge with shamanism? A psychopath might feel threatened by a ghost of himself which loved and felt loved. In this world, he is completely cut off from his feelings, and this terrifying being haunts him. What haunts the medical industry? In this framework, necessary illusions are the substance of reality, and unnecessary illusions are the ghosts of reality. But who decides what is necessary? It depends on the individual and on collective agreements. Ghosts may be temporarily necessary for the sanity of an individual, even though they are unnecessary on a collective level. Perhaps we could remove psychopathy from the medical industry by helping it deal with its ghosts. I was thinking about psychopaths when I wrote the following bit of fiction. He didn't give love. He would offer love and then take it away. By breaking people's spirits in this way, he could get them to do whatever he wanted. He saw her sitting on the street, Raggedy Ann, young, dreadlocked, singing folk songs and smiling with hope still burning in her eyes. "Ma'am, are you in search of work? Nothing dirty, just an honest day's work." "What sort of work?" "I have a bathroom I need cleaned and a stairwell, a lot of grout scrubbing." "How much are you offering?" "$60, and you can sleep there if you like." It was going to be a cold night. $70 and it's a deal. $60, no more. She gathered her things and followed him down the street to a health club in a large warehouse. "Wait a minute. I need to tell my friends where I'm going to be," she said. "Of course," he said. He knew she was lying. She was clearly alone. When you hear that bit of fiction, do you think the man is in more danger or the woman? She could have a knife. He could have a penchant for coercing poor people into doing things they don't like. The evil inherent in this moment could come from a person's history or from the power dynamics at play. We all know that from an absolute perspective, there are people who are more evil than others. They are the people who cause evil things to happen. But from a relative perspective, if evil people are not the source of evil, the more disturbing possibility is that, like fear, evil is a commonplace and diffuse phenomenon that affects all of us. If you believe that evil is the product of an evil character, something you can label as psychopathy, Your world can be orderly and fair as long as the evil people are not around. You can cut off the head of the evil person in the town square. But this is not the case within the medical industry. All is relative and there are no heads to be removed, because the evil is endemic to the faith we place in the system itself. I was raised to have a childlike faith in science and medicine, but after experiencing the weaknesses of that system, I wish to break that faith down and help restore a needed balance and a sense of the absolute. This is my expression of fear, and to someone who wants to protect the medical industry, it would come across as evil, in a relative sense. It is hard to be all good all the time, but there are some reference points we can use to measure ourselves. As a child, I heard the saying, "Jesus is the rock on which I stand, all the rest is shifting sand." It instilled a sense of the value of the absolute, an absolute sense of morality. As an adult, I spent a decade running physics simulations which did nothing more than imitate the behavior of sand blowing in the wind. In retrospect, this waste of my effort seems kind of evil. Sand gets in your eyes. Sand falls through your fingers. Sand turns to shards of glass when lightning strikes. Sand measures the time. And sand assumes ghostly forms, and in the end, it buries us all. Without a reference point, the motion of the sand seems random and uncontrollable, but with an absolute, we can avoid the worst of its storms and make ourselves blind to the ghostly forms which do not help us. Thank you for watching this very strange post or video. These thoughts, I know they're odd. My books are sometimes even stranger. But through fiction, you can say things that are even harder to say than what I've tried to say here. And that is why I encourage you to take a look at them. They were an adventure for me, and I think they would be illuminating for you as well. Until next time, thank you for watching.